Hi, I'm Cameron Atkinson. I'm a senior at the University of Michigan studying under Professor Cliff Lampy. Today we'll go on a brief crash course on problematic information in our society. I will define and break down types of problematic information as well as provide some examples of this phenomenon. Finally, I will provide combative strategies when confronting problematic information. To start, to define problematic information can be categorized by three separate types of information that undermine public trust and democracy: misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, as I will refer to as MDM. Addressing MDM requires understanding its forms, how it spreads, and practical strategies for mitigating its effect. As we further dissect problematic information in MDM, we'll go through some examples of when this can be seen. Misinformation, which is false information that is shared unintentionally. Unintentionally being the key word. If, for example, if somebody gets wrong information when trying to get a story out, or their source was wrong, they print this information not knowing that it was incorrect at the time. An example of this, as we covered in one of our readings, was in a Daily Express tweet during the Manchester bombing. Daily Express tweeted and falsely reported that a gunman was outside of a local hospital shortly after the bombing at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. This information, as I said, turned out to be incorrect. The confusion arose as the Daily Express rushed to report during a chaotic and unfolding crisis without verifying a claim. Although the tweet was later deleted, it did contribute to public fear and misinformation during an already tense situation. Disinformation, however, is much more dangerous than misinformation. Disinformation is the intentional spread of falsehood for manipulation. This can be seen in the case of the aftermath of the 2020 election results, in which Fox News was sued by Dominion Voting Systems for allowing some of its pundits and their guests to make false claims about the structural and functional integrity of the machines used to tally the votes. Fox eventually settled the case with Dominion for close to $1 billion in the defamation lawsuit. Malinformation, however, is truth-based information that is used to cause harm. For example, individuals that claim voter fraud that are based on small and verified issues but exaggerate them to undermine trust in the electoral process, leading to widespread distrust in future elections and the media. The key takeaway in dissecting MDM is that emotional manipulation is central to disinformation, targeting our gut reactions and fostering anger or fear. Now that we have a general understanding for the types of problematic information that we may face, and we have dissected MDM, we can look at how these types of information are disseminated. In mechanisms of spread, we'll look into social media and amplification, technological advances, and collective sense-making. To start with social media and amplification. Social media platforms amplify MDM through the use of algorithms and trends, often prioritizing engagement over truth. Technological advances, as incredibly useful as some of this new technology is also just as useful as a tool to spread problematic information. Generative AI makes creating false content easier. It forms deepfakes to personalize information, and with the use of tools like chatbots and meme campaigns, exploiting emotional responses and trust within online communities. Lastly, collective sense-making. During crisis and times of heightened sensitivity, people gather online to make sense of events, which can lead to both accurate and false narratives. This natural psychological process creates vulnerability to spreading misinformation rapidly. As we wrap up, we will look at some strategies for combating MDM. First and foremost, individual responsibility. Tap into your emotional senses. Reflect on why information makes you feel angry or upset before sharing it. Correct mistakes publicly to prevent further spread and build credibility. Also use critical evaluation. Look out for clickbait or emotionally charged content that is out there essentially only to cause a stir. Finally, in collective action, it's imperative that as a society, we advocate for platform accountability and demand transparency in the algorithmic process. It is important to engage in collective sense-making, responsibility by verifying sources and avoiding echo chambers and areas where we can get sucked into a vast circulation of problematic information. As we navigate an ever-evolving information media landscape, it is increasingly important to practice thoughtful sharing, advocate for stronger platform policies, and participate responsibly in collective sense-making to counter misinformation spread. Thank you.